Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final draft preview. We have made it to the secondary, corners, and safeties. So, before I dive right into it, I want to quickly say if you are new, subscribe, greatly appreciate it, and leave a like if you haven't already. Now, with that being said, I want to do it quick. Let's get right into it. We'll begin with the corner, or one of the corners, Will Johnson out of Michigan is the first one we'll talk about. 6'2", 194. And if it wasn't for someone we'll be talking about a little bit later, probably would be the number one corner off the board. Third positional ranking according to ESPN. I do think he's a little bit better than one of the people in front of him. And the 11th overall ranked prospect. Will Johnson is a stud. He is a great corner, plays really well, and does a great job. Definitely a little bit better in zone than man, but can play both to a high level and to a good degree. And thus, definitely worth a first round pick and definitely worth a chance for a team in the top 15. And he's expected to go within the top 15, top 20. I would not be surprised if he goes within the top 10. I do really, really like Will Johnson, and there's someone I could see Miami drafting. But again, just overall, damn good player, plays really well, won the national championship with Michigan a few years back, and just good feel for the ball, good feel for the opposing receivers, and just has a really great feel and great eye for the game. That comes with it a really damn good player that really no team is going to be at fault for selecting in the first round. And if he by some miracle falls into like late first round, early second round, is a steal of the draft. But I do expect him to go top half of the first, top 15, top 16. Just overall a really, really, really damn good player. And he can tackle well and help and run defense. He's an all-around great player. And again, if it wasn't for someone we'll be talking about a little bit later, he would be my number one ranked corner in this class. So let's go over to the safeties real quick. We're going to begin with Kevin Winston out of Penn State, 6'2", 215. And definitely more so of a run defender first and a run support safety. He's aggressive with it, but still does a good job, and he's able to tackle well. So that helps. That does help with it. And also through his tackle ability and his good feel for run defense, that can lead him to be a pretty damn good special teams player. But I could still see him be a pretty damn good cover safety if given the right situation to hone that craft and develop it. At 6'2", 215, pretty good size, can guard most tight ends. And again, if given the time to really hone into his pass defense, he can be a really, really damn good safety. 6th ranked safety overall, 103rd ranked prospect. Definitely can be considered more so of a developmental piece, but with how good of a run support he has, and with how good his pursuit is with special teams and everything, he's going to be seeing the field early no matter what situation, and he's going to be making plays no matter what situation, either as a early time special teamer or as a safety 3, and eventually a starting safety potentially in the league. I do like Kevin Winston. I think he can become a really, really good safety. It just needs to be given the time to develop and really grow into that role for whatever the role that team's going to be having for him. Next up, the other safety, Malachi Starks, is out of Georgia, 6'1", 197. ESPN has him as the second ranked safety. Honestly, he's probably I'm more so see him as the first safety. 35th overall prospect. I expect him to go in the first round in some capacity. But again, just a really, really damn good player that can do it all. He's versatile, can guard the run well, can help in the passing game well. And especially in the case of with how some of these elite level tight ends are nowadays, with it being more so out lining up in the slot, out wide type of guys like a Kyle Pitts or soon to be a Tyler Warren, and how Casey uses Kelsey, he's a very valuable piece through that ability. Plays really well, fills the gaps well, doesn't get distracted that easily, so which is good for the run defense because he's going to be able to fill gaps in from deep. And just an all-around great playmaker who does a great job on defense and does exactly what you would want for a safety of his caliber to do, especially if you're going to be taking him high. I know some people have him expected to go to Miami at 13, which, if you ask ESPN, it's a pretty high thing. But I could see him go. If you ask ESPN, him going to 13 is a little bit high, but I could see him going in the top 20, and I feel like 13 won't be bad. Definitely will be available by 13. And we'll see how much further he's available from there. But a really damn good player, and for a team that has a lot of holes at safety like Miami, definitely someone that can given it can give a definite immediate impact to a defense, and that's exactly what you want out of someone of his caliber. All right, I've delayed talking about this guy far enough. It is finally time. Travis Hunter out of Colorado, 6 foot 188, and there's a lot that can be said about him. There's a lot that a lot of people have already said about him, but my take on it is you definitely take him top five. He's definitely a top five pick. What he can do as a two-way player is elite and is an immediate impact to a team and could definitely push a team over the edge if they're in a weird bridge window. To a team like Tennessee or Cleveland, he can get you to a potential perennial playoff team. A team like New York that jumpstarts your rebuild and gets you from a 4 or 5 win season to a consistently in the hunt year. But he gets your team to that next step in whatever process you're on in his current state. My only thing is more so future looking. When he gets to year 7, year 8, year 9, and he gets up there in age, can he still be a effective two-way player? Or by that point, are you going to have to focus on one side of the ball? And I'm only mentioning that because of how NFL contracts are going right now. The contract landscape currently is insane. We just saw Jamar Chase become the highest paid non-QB in NFL history, and T. Higgins' teammate is also getting damn near $30 million a year. So for someone like Travis Hunter, by the time you have to pay him, that's going to be a very hefty payday. But you will be paying him for a two-way player. So it's very future looking. I'm prefacing that he is worth a top 5 pick. He is a good enough player both ways. Again, he's elite both ways. And even his current floor as a two-way player is more valuable than like 80% of the league is. He is worth a top 5 pick. But eventually the time is going to come where he's going to have to play one way or the other. And by that time, you're not going to be able, the contract's not going to be worth it. So you have to be forefront of what your window is and what the situation is. I think by drafting Travis Hunter, you give yourselves a 7 to 8 year window to win it all. And can you do it in that time? Well, again, if he goes in the top 5, that leaves New England, Cleveland, New York, and Tennessee. New England would be the best bet. If he goes to New England, I am confident in saying that by the year 8 mark for Travis Hunter, they will at least be in a Super Bowl. But for a team like Cleveland, Tennessee, and New York, where the quarterback position is very much in question, then it's an uncertain. So if you're New England, he's 100% worth the pick. If you're Cleveland and Tennessee, he can make you into a perennial playoff team without an established quarterback, and I feel like you'd be fine with that for at least a year or two. If you're the Giants, you have a lot more ways to go than just picking up Travis Hunter. So it depends on the situation, but any team in the top 5, I would not blame them for picking him. He is that elite type of talent, but it's still the situation of you really have 2 contracts with him to get the most out of him. So what can you do in that window, and would it be more beneficial to focus on other sides of the game, knowing that you could potentially waste the talent that is Travis Hunter? And most GMs, they're not going to agree with anything I just said of, hey, we're going to pass up on a generational talent because we're not ready to win it all. Obviously, that's not the case, and teams are going to select him because he is a generational elite talent. And I know that phrase gets tossed around way too much, but for his case like Travis Hunter, he is a legit generational talent. But it's still the case of, because he's a generational talent, can you maximize it? What team in the top 5 can? It's New England. If they can trade up, actually, I think New England sits at 4. If they can trade up to 3 somehow, or maybe even 2, I think New England would definitely benefit from doing that. All right, but with all that being said, thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time. Have yourselves a damn good one. Peace.